for me, like when I look at rising up the ranks and where those rankings are going, I honestly we need to talk about Lance Archer. I know he's a Dynamite download staple. I know that he is an SPD favorite. What were your thoughts on and it's been controversial even in our little happy community. I know we've had some people who are bummed out to see Lance get his, focused in on an icon like Sting. You're seeing a little bit more dark side of the Murder Hawk monster coming out in this one. SPD, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to let you talk about this segment with Lance Archer because I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I loved well, first off, we are still getting the typical Sting and promo and entrance, which is fine. It still hasn't gone stale. Sorry, Lori. We still love it. Absolutely. But, it gave me like, yes, all right, great. When Darby was saying how he's only had 3 title defenses since November. And I was like, all right, finally, like I was preaching that along. I'm like, this guy barely defends this title. And now he's going to try to turn it into a open challenge. And he challenged the Dark Order where, the greatest TNT champion, Brody Lee, where it lived for a while. And so that versus him and John Silver is going to be absolutely money. Silver and gold. But anyways, Lance Archer, it surprised me, man. He cut an awesome promo. It's like Murder Hawk time all the time. He's going to put Darby in a coffin, man. He was spitting fire nonstop. I love the interruption of him. And, I do like Jake the Snake, but honestly, Archer is so powerful on his own. He doesn't need that side piece, but it was fun and funny for Jake the Snake to call Darby a little weenie, kind of like the best friends called FTR weenies, and they made it on the shirts. But I really got out of that was that the winds of change are coming, as Jake the Snake said, and so I still don't know what they're going to do. I hope ultimately he can dethrone Darby for the TNT Championship. It was perfect timing of when he came out, and then this whole segment, like. So much came out of this segment. I mean, you had Darby talking about an open title. You had Lance and Jake the Snake spitting fire both at Darby and Sting mostly. And then you had Team Taz come out, and we haven't seen Team Taz in a while. And Brian Cage there's like turmoil with Team Taz. He's throwing out the respect to the icon Sting and saying he still got it even without the baseball bat. And the Cage twist was unexpected. And, first Darby says that they closed the book on Team Taz essentially. And now Team Taz is kind of getting in the face of Brian Cage and Brian Cage walking away from that. I don't want to see Team Taz split up, but what kind of inner Taz Team Taz turmoil are we going to see out of this? And it was nice for Brian Cage to be like, let me talk, I need to say this and all this stuff. And so finally we get to see him talk. Starks and Taz have been taking the spotlight, which they should. They're excellent on the mic, but Cage can more than hold his own. I don't know if I couldn't tell or I couldn't remember, but I don't know if we saw the FTW belt. Maybe Cage, gets rid of the belt and said, I don't need this crap anymore and walks away from Team Taz. I don't know where we go with this. I think it adds some more dynamic to Team Taz that's needed right now. And you're adding Archer in this somehow. So these are good transition feuds right now. And I'm excited for what they haven't been planned for us for the bigger picture.
Yeah, well said. I think that we'll unpack it part by part real quick. I think that for me, we look at Lance, we both see a guy who could be a world champion. We both see a guy who really has a take no prisoners mentality. I've been saying it for a long time now. Lance really has that. You could tell like his faith plays a role in his promos.
Mm-hmm.
He has that biblical like revelations. Everybody dies. That just that hellfire and brimstone sort of poetic depth to his promos. The guy is very intelligent, and when you have an intelligent guy who's 6'9", 6'10", and can jump off the top rope, do a backflip, and then choke slam somebody, 10 feet into the air. There's nothing that this guy can't do. and he's got the look, he's got the intensity, he's believable from a casual viewer standpoint or from a diehard wrestling fan standpoint. This dude's journey, if you know about his journey, you know what he's been through, you know what he's capable of. If you don't know about his journey, you look at this dude with a braided long mohawk, big badass biker looking dude, and you're like, all right, yeah, no doubt, this guy looks like a star, almost that Jade Cargill thing where when you see him, you know. I think that Lance, for me, I think what's going to end up happening is Lance is going to – I guess I called it. I think that Lance is going to end up brutalizing Sting, and it's going to end up getting Darby off of his game and giving Lance a title shot. Lance is going to go after that TNT title. I think that and what's beautiful about this is you kind of see the past, present, and future of TNT champions potentially here, where you can see, or TNT title feuds, right? Where you see Cage was the previous challenger. You have the current champion, Darby, and the future challenger and Lance all in one segment. I can see sort of that. We always talk about the way that the AEW likes to blend these characters together. That's the way I see it happening. I think that you kind of see Team Taz kind of maybe breaking away from that TNT title picture, a little more infighting between them. We saw on Dark Cage and Starks working together against Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, and sort of Cage definitely carrying the weight of that team. We even saw that happen a lot. I told you when we were watching the street fight, man, like Starks was really benefiting from the machine taking so much attention and abuse throughout that fight. You're starting to see some of that dissension. Hobbs is clearly trending up as a young badass dude, man. I mean, his record is through the roof. You watch what he's capable of. I think that you're going to start to see maybe a little bit more inner turmoil of Team Taz. That'll allow them to slowly separate from the TNT title picture, which I'm good with. And it allows Darby to eventually get to Lance, which I think is going to be a slow burn. I think it's a personal feud. It's going to be one where Lance does something to the Stinger that causes Darby to want to kind of get in Lance's face. And what a David Goliath battle that will be. I also think that although I agree with you, SPD, Lance does not need Jake right at this point. I don't want to say anything bad about Jake the Snake. The man's a legend.
No, he's great. Oh yeah, great.
Having Jake kind of there allows for that icon versus icon, legend versus legend status of Sting and Jake to play in the background of the Lance and Darby feud moving forward. So I don't know, man. I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff in that one. And what's crazy about Dynamite is that this feels like one of those moments that might get lost in the shuffle of this bigger show, right?
That's so crazy to say that.
So much that happened. You see a potential Brian Cage face turn. You see the potential inner turmoil and breaking apart of one of Team Taz.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much to unpack here, and it feels like one of those segments that it just could get lost if you don't pay attention. So I don't know, man. I love the layers, the multitude of layers that AEW brings. This was a beautiful story to it.